Hi, Dr. Bridget here with another prescription for success. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about grief, but really from a slightly different perspective. So I'm not going to be talking about when you lose someone, when something obvious that gives you grief happens. I'm going to be talking more about grief that you have in the moment, that's probably about, what you're going to lose in the future or what you're losing in now. And I guess when you're grieving, you can't move on and you're in pain. And one of the big reasons for doing some work with grief is that it has an effect on the nervous system and also weakens your immune system. So it has an effect on your life, full stop. And it's really about waves of emotion that come with coming to terms with the loss, both now and in the future. So in particular, I'm going to be sort of talking about perhaps if you lose your home. A lot of people during COVID have lost their home, and that's a grief. If you lose your spouse, or your spouse becomes a different person, or a member of your family or a member of your friend becomes a different person, or you fall out, that's grief. If you lose your identity, so if you become ill or you become disabled and that doesn't go with the identity that you had in the future, then that's a loss in itself. If you lose your job or your career that you're really passionate about, then that is also grief. And you can have this anticipatory loss for something that you know will happen in the future. So say you know that either yourself or someone is going to die or going to lose their job, then you can have the grief that goes with that. And I think a lot of people don't realise that they are grieving. They think that they're depressed or anxious, but actually there is a large element of grief there. So if you look up grief, you can notice that there are stages of grief which either happen linearly or altogether, but the end result of you going through these stages is some acceptance, but that can still be painful and can still affect your life going forward. And I want to talk to you about how I can help that, because timeline therapy removes those major negative emotions by reframing and dissociating the emotions from what happened. And just within a few hours you can actually start to move on and get on with your life and let go of the pain, and you always know that you have grieved, but you will move on and be able to do whatever you want to do going forward in your life. So if you know someone that's having problems with grief, or yourself is having problems with grief, then get in touch. I do a free half hour and we can sort out exactly what the symptoms are and what the consequences are for you, and just change those consequences so you can move forward. Okay, so that's me, Dr. Bridget. I'll see you next week. Bye.